What's up, fellas? What's up? And we are back with the four Phonies. Yes. It is over. It is finally over, fellas. It is finally over. The draft is over. Finally. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about the draft since about September.
Yeah, we've been on the draft for a while.
We've been on the draft for a minute.
I don't think there's any more scenarios than we could have possibly.
No, yeah, we had every damn scenario out there.
Right.
Every scenario. So, man, what's up, Corey? How's everything shaking out there in the country?
Oh, dude, it's good, man. It's good. The draft was good. It came right on time. I was able to actually enjoy watching it this year. I got a lot of time with it. You know, I saw more picks, more other teams' picks, and just overall, you know, a lot of highlight tapes that I didn't know. Some guys I didn't know anything about. So it was cool to be able to relax, not really have anything to do, and watch the draft.
Yeah, man. You know me. I grind on a regular. You know, couple of jobs here, couple of jobs there. So I really only got to watch it Saturday, and sometimes that's kind of the good time to kind of watch. You hear some names that you ain't heard of, or guys that you be like, man, you know, this may be a good guy for us to get late or something like that,
right.
and we pass them by. But you know, it's a good time. The draft is always fun, and man, you know,
I think Saturday might have been my favorite day actually, because
you know, it's a little long. It's a little speed it up. Speed
it up. And you know, they'll go ahead and pick even if the camera's not on. So that action's always coming.
Yeah,
even
and
if you read it.
And it's for like the GMs, all the execs. It's more relaxed on Saturday too. They got sweatshirts on and they just in there chilling and everything. Right. Probably had a couple of drinks, you know, make sure they ain't see that on the camera. But yeah, but it's good. But you know, we got to get it back in Nashville because Detroit broke the record. Detroit broke the record.
700,000 plus.
Yeah. You gotta get it back. Gotta get it back at the Ville.
When I was looking out there at the crowd, I'm like, they represent. I mean, Nashville, we did our thing here, but you know, it's always about getting better, always about improving.
It is.
I'm glad to see Detroit rebound as much as they. I mean, it looked like they back. The city looked nice, you know. The team winning.
Yeah.
So,
you know,
they back on the hot spot.
Had everybody coming into town. It's good for Detroit. That's real good. But let me just get a thing from you, and just you know, we gonna touch on the Titans, but just in general, like a team that you may have seen. What's up, Rick?
What's happening?
Glad to see you. Just a team that y'all have seen. Like you may have noticed their draft, or a player went to a certain team you may not have expected him to go to. Give me one or two kind of surprises, or something you noticed the team was doing in this draft. I'll start it off.
Yeah.
I'll go with Philly's defense was their liability at the end of last season. Defense. So they are looking to get better on defense. You know, they had some liabilities over there, so they're looking to get better on defense. That's one of mine.
That's the benefit of a well-built team where you don't have holes in so many areas that you can be pinpoint focused and get exactly what you need in that draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I did notice that.
I think what I noticed the most, like the good teams, the good organizations, is almost like good players fall in your lap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right.
You know, and I don't know if it's because they drafted later in the draft, you know, which can benefit some teams that don't have a lot of missing pieces, that don't need a lot, but they may have that player that like falls to them in that perfect situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, yeah. But Philly, even Pittsburgh, I think they had some folks that kind of just fell to them. They're like, yeah, they're gonna ball there. You know what I'm saying? Even with Kansas City, with Worthy, you know, I think they traded up to get him, but it's like, you know, people to them good teams, them great organizations, they find players that have their makeup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Seems like
and you speaking on, I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh. That linebacker, if he can stay healthy, Peyton Willis, I think it's Willis. If he can stay healthy, he's gonna next to Queen. That's gonna be a good combination because Watt's taking up blocks up front, so that's gonna be good. I'm gonna say Phony Tory. He, of course, this is one. The Falcons taking a quarterback surprised everyone. At 8. And everybody say they could have took him later, but they don't. I think they got shaky with. They didn't know if the Raiders were going to take him. If they got a chance right there, Denver could have took him right there or something like that. So 8 is risky, but you get in that during the season, he's coming off an injury. Cousins is coming off an injury. You always want we always want a good backup because we have been one of those that looking like, ooh, that's our backup. They gotta play.
Yeah.
So yeah. Corey, you got anybody?
Man, we probably could have guessed the back. I mean, we knew the Bears having those 2 high picks back to back that they would make some noise and it would be interesting. What I didn't foresee is having one of the top tier ranked receivers that was, you know, picked to go either third off the board or whatever. I didn't foresee him really landing at for the new quarterback, landing at 9 with a Odunze. But that's that was kind of fun for me to watch, to see both those kids get drafted like they did. We've been talking about them all draft season. We've been talking about Odunze. To see him, I mean, we passed him up, but to see how that they got some pieces, so they should be
you're right.
Be fun to watch.
They got some pieces in Chicago. That is going to be, that division may be pretty nice competition there with Detroit coming off what they did, and they improved, and then Green Bay they coming off what they've done and they improved. That's gonna be Minnesota may be the bottom of the barrel right now, but you never know. That, you know, people always be the bottom, and then next thing you know, they at the top. But let's last one. And what does this mean? This is the last one. What do the 49ers taking Ricky Pearsall in the first round? Does that mean Debo or Brandon may get traded? What?
It seemed like the writing's on the wall.
Hey, that's interesting. I saw the guy that they had the camera on for as far as at the stadium, looking as a 49ers fan. He was like, "Boo! What? What?" And it was right on his face, and he like, "Boo!" Like, man, I never seen anybody boo the pick like that, but he did. That particular fan didn't like that.
That just seemed like they're not going to pay Ayuk or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Yeah. So we about to hit this next one real quick, and let's get to the Titans. And
Yes,
we just gonna go over the first 3 picks over that the Titans took, first, second, fourth round picks, because I feel in my heart these guys are gonna contribute day one.
Day one.
They got a good chance. I say Latham, Sweat, definitely. Gray's got a good chance of contributing day one.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about those first 3 picks? You just kind of give your idea of all 3 of them. Ricky, I know you like that number 1 pick, so
yeah, I love it. Like it a lot. I almost love it. I where the draft fell with Alt and then Neighbors, I was like, it's gonna be Latham. That was, in my opinion, I was down there at the draft party and everything, and just looking at that tape that I think you sent, like them last few days leading up to it, where they were comparing a lot of those offensive linemen, I was like, this dude is a beast.
Yeah, I think
he can't be moved.
That last one I sent was by Mike Martz, and he was loving.
Yeah.
He was loving Latham.
Yeah, I love what he does. Could he get in trouble with his strength, thinking he can just overpower them dudes and pancake them, and they use their speed or whatever? Maybe, but I think Bill Callahan is going to be able to coach him up and coach him on a lot of those things. And as for those first 3, yep, like Latham a lot. Sweat, I feel like one of those guys that may have a chip on his shoulder,
right?
Because everybody, I've seen a lot just over the past few days with it being a risky pick, even considering his weight, and of course the DWI and all that stuff, basically maturity. But I think him and Big Jeff gonna make him work, first of all. And I just feel like him being paired up with Jeff is huge. And then with Gray, I think he's more of a cover linebacker.
Yeah, he's a good cover guy, but he's one that he can hit the hole and make some tackles, which I think with somebody like Sweat and Big Jeff up there, that's gonna be a it's gonna free up the linebackers. Really, it's gonna free them up.
True. So yeah, I like it. I think if you can come out of the draft getting 3 or 4 starters, that's a win.
Right.
That's a win. Potentially 2 elite.
Yeah. And the reason we can do that is because we was kind of garbage a little bit. Kind of not garbage, but
I mean,
if we got 4 starters coming out of the draft, our roster probably wasn't the best.
Well, I meant 3. If I said 4, I meant 3.
You probably gonna have 4.
That I think, but
nah.
I mean, yeah, it definitely means
that's the state of where we're looking for these guys. I think they were very strategic. Now, is it my turn to
go ahead?
Break mine. Yeah, I think they were strategic. One thing I can say about you hear people say draft for the future, don't draft for need. I think they drafted for both, because of course JC Latham's gonna play. Of course, he's going to be a tackle out there. And I'm saying it's left tackle. Sweat. Oh, back to Latham. I didn't, it kind of broke my heart when the Giants picked Neighbors. I'll just go ahead and say that. And I was like, we don't have an Alt or Neighbors. And I was a little hurt. And then I was like, who are we going to pick? Because I didn't know it was just a definite. Like Rick, you said you knew they were going to say Latham after that. And I said it right before they're going to pick Latham. And the only reason I thought that is because of the breakdown that you sent out with Mike. Was it Mike Marks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was pretty informative to me. I didn't know much about that. That made me feel really good about Latham and what he was saying. And then looking at the film, his center of gravity, how strong he is, and all his traits that he had. Then as the night went on, you know, I got more and more excited about Latham. So now I'm really high on Latham. After seeing him come and introduce him to the media, hearing him on the radio and all that good stuff, you know, I'm all in on the pick, and I'm glad now. You put all this is what I'm wondering though. If Alt had been on the board, would they still have picked Latham?
That's a good question. Good question. You don't know. They could have had him higher than Alt. They could have graded him higher than Alt. He could have been their guy.
Right. So so high on, you know, all in on Latham. Sweat, man, when we did this a few weeks ago, I said I wanted to come away with Big Sweat. You know, if we could come away with Big Sweat and some of that, you know, I didn't know what round it would be. I really didn't know it would be our second pick, but I wanted to come away with Big Sweat because
hold on, Corey, 1 second. About to add the BlueEnforcer to the stage.
BlueEnforcer.
What's up, BlueEnforcer?
What up?
What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
Tighten up, baby.
Not much. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Appreciate you joining us. Corey, go on and finish up, and then we go to
So Big Sweat, man, all the character stuff that came out, you know, I look at him as a big teddy bear that's just growing up, man. I think he loves football. I think he's nothing like, you know, Isaiah didn't want to play no more ball when he got here, man. He was looking for retirement. He was done.
Retire Isaiah.
Yeah, man.
Retire Isaiah.
Dude, they still playing his clips on certain. I see him all the time. We can retire.
When you see the draft, his name gonna come up though. Worst.
I got a text asking, did we just draft Isaiah 2.0? I'm like, nah, bro, not at all. I'm excited to see him play. I hope. I think he realizes the moment and what's in front of him. I think he wants to be great. I think he wants to be beloved. I can see how silly he is. I think he'll endear himself to the fan base real soon, and he's gonna make plays. Cedric Gray, I didn't know anything about Cedric Gray. I didn't see a lot of ACC football. I guess I don't know, but from what 6'1", 234 pounds, runs a 4.6. He's a tackling machine. You know, 121 tackles, all ACC, and he's a good cover backer. He's good in space.
You need that in the league now. Somebody that can. That's the only way you can really be on the field if you're able to cover. Now you got to be able to cover.
So what they call him, like that's what they mean by 3-down backer.
Yeah,
you don't have to come out. Kind of thing.
Have to come out. He can cover. He can stay in on 3rd down.
They say he got the smarts to, you know, to give them that. You know, if he needs to wear the green dot, they act like this kid can pick it up and do it. So it's giving them something they don't have, and I think he'll have a good chance of getting on the field pretty early in the season. So I'm you know, and he played receiver and safety in high school.
Good knowledge there, Core.
Yes, sir.
BlueEnforcer, your thoughts on the first 3 picks that we had?
Well, first of all, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all having me on. You know, hopefully this will be the first time of many that I'm on the show with y'all, and same as y'all on the show with me. And here's my honest opinion when it comes to the first 3 picks. The first, you know, with J.C. Latham, I'm going to be the outlier. I absolutely hated the pick in the beginning. I did. And I hated this pick, and I know somebody on this show came at me about it.
It was me.
Yeah, somebody came at me about it. Like, I got the receipts on it. I said, oh, this going to be good.
My thing is, what you said, you called him a bust. He played it down.
And this is the reason why. This is why I really hated this pick. I didn't hate the pick because of the player necessarily. I honestly didn't like the pick from the position we were in. I think, in my honest opinion, when Joe Alt went off the board at 5, I think the war room went into panic mode a little bit. Now, I'm probably wrong. But I think they went into panic mode. It's like, Dad, what are we gonna do, y'all? Also off the board, Neighbors is probably going too. It's like, where are we gonna go? And it's like they settled with JC Latham, in my opinion. I think they could have traded back. I think they and all I kept thinking is get out of 7. Get out of there.
If you would have said that and been like, I don't like the pick because I think they should have traded back, or I didn't like the pick because I really wanted a receiver, but you said he's gonna be a bust. That's a hard word for somebody that ain't played it down.
So that was my initial reason, is because I just think I didn't necessarily it's not the player, it's the position. I think we could have traded back.
I can get that. I can get with that.
I think we could have traded back and got a little bit more capital and still possibly gotten him, or Olu. I think Olu is better. Why I went as far as I did, I said I hate the pick and I just don't think he's gonna pan out, is because he played primarily right tackle at Alabama. I understand he played left tackle in high school, but in my own thought, it's that playing left tackle in high school and playing left tackle in the NFL, 2 totally different things. You got faster, more premier athletes every day coming at you. And I don't know, and I know a lot of people will think, oh yeah, he could easily go to left. I don't think it's as easy of a transition. Now, granted,
our line coaches transition.
Bill Callahan.
He transitioned Jed Willis.
He did.
He played right tackle at Bama. When he got to Cleveland, he went straight to the left. He played left tackle in high school because I saw him, because he was friends with my nephew. So he transitioned. So I got Callahan.
He's gonna have to do that if he can transition. If he can make that transition,
Latham's more athletic than Jed.
He's gotta prove it to me.
He's more athletic than Jed.
What you got, Tor?
Well, it's like this. You know, you're dealing with professional athletes, linemen. What did Skoronski play in college?
Left tackle.
Where did he play it with the Titans? Guard. I understand.
Should have been left tackle.
I'm just saying, though, you're a professional athlete. Latham has some versatility. He's going to be a dog. He comes from Nick Saban, Alabama program, and that's what you want. You want versatile offensive linemen that can plug and play. And we got O-line Jesus. Let him bring it, do his job.
I want it to work, and that's the other thing I'm afraid of. The track record of offensive linemen from Alabama hasn't exactly been good. That's the thing that kind of scared me, is because
if those are things that scare you, I'm good with that. The bust is a little harsh for me.
Maybe
the bus word.
I mean, I had a low floor. I had a low floor. Like
if you would tell me, I don't trust Bama linemen.
I don't.
I like Olu better. I did. I wanted to trade back. I wanted a receiver. Yeah.
Yep.
But
that's correct. All of that above.
He's gonna be a bust.
All of that's correct.
A bust is.
I hope he proves me wrong.
That's a strong word.
Okay,
I hope he proves me wrong. And if he does, I'll eat crow. I'll eat some crow.
Yeah,
I am perfectly fine with that.
I tell you right. If he's a bust, I'll tell you, you were right. I ain't gonna do the crawling like you were talking about. That ain't. But
I'm just saying.
What you got on Sweat? What you got on Sweat?
On Sweat, I absolutely love the pick. Now that one I loved. I think they may have reached a little bit on that one, but I understand at the same time, because I mean you're addressing a need, much like Latham. Sweat, I mean, the dude is an absolute monster. I mean, he's gonna eat up blocks. Big Jeff, I could tell he is extremely happy about this.
Right.
And Landry should be happy too. Because
it's freeing them up.
If it frees them up for one-on-one.
And the linebackers should be happy too.
I agree. I love it. I love that pick. The Latham pick, I gave it a C+. I'm gonna be nice.
Okay.
Sweat, I would say take away the DUWI. I would probably give it a solid A. I would have said A plus, but I got to knock off for the DWI. And I like the fact that that ran Brian Callahan and I believe A-Rob all went down to Texas to talk to him and his family. I thought that was very, very important. Yeah, I thought that was extremely important, especially with everything that happened. And so I think that's going to help. So I think it was an absolute A. That could be a steal. Like, man, somebody should have got him sooner. But once Jerry Newton went to the Commanders, and then right behind that, Braden Fisk goes to the Rams. So there was starting to be a run on defensive tackles. It's like, you better go ahead and get one while we can. So absolute monster.
Because we have been filling that position with undrafted guys.
Very much.
Undrafted guys, but
and we've had some success with those undrafted guys. Now, I say this
about semi success.
Semi success. You know where Big Jeff could be productive. Somebody in there. I say this about Sweat and about Big Jeff. You know, Big Jeff came in with some issues too, and we drafted him and had that success. So that's going to make them a little bit tighter and playing for each other. And Big Jeff's going to be a mentor to him and they're going to have a nice little brotherhood because they got a lot of similarities, that they're bringing to the table.
I'm going to say this about the DWI, and this is something I just learned about it. It could be a blessing in disguise for him because I didn't realize, I thought, well, DWI, he got pulled over. He may have swerved a little bit or something like that. He got hit in the back by somebody flying.
Yeah.
And that's why he got somebody hit him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he got a DWI. So it may be a blessing in disguise. Get the Uber, get the Uber and get home safe.
Wow.
You can hire me. You can hire me. I'll be the Uber. 24/7.
I got a question for y'all. Now I got a question for y'all. And this I think pertains to both Latham and Sweat. Do you think the weight for both of these guys are going to be a concern? Like, maybe they need to each come down about 10 to 20 pounds because Latham's at 342, Sweat's at like 360. Could that be a problem?
Sweat said he wants to be at 350, 355. He knows where he needs to be at. It's about him getting that's one of the knocks on him is him dropping that weight is something that I need him to take it seriously, come in shape and looking like he dropped weight when it's all about how much work you're gonna put in. It's your job now.
Latham said that Coach Saban wanted him 360, and then right now he dropped 20 pounds since then, like he 340 something right now. But he said he played at 360,
so he can drop a little bit more there, which would help him.
Yeah, I think one of them. I think Latham is easier managing his weight than Big Sweat. Big Sweat probably gonna struggle with it. He need to hire Ricky. He need to get Ricky on board as his nutritionist. And
I got him.
And
I'm gonna cheat too.
I would say the Titans have a good nutrition program. I mean, I know they have some good people there as far as nutrition and stuff like that. Because I know that helped the team before. So,
and I think they got a new team.
That new strength and conditioning coach. New strength and conditioning team.
I disagree about Sweat. I disagree about Sweat. One, you can be a big old guy now. You don't have to be in the best of shape. What do you want him to do?
Can he understand the game?
You want him to stay in the game, but he's a 2-down player anyway.
They want him to be a 3-down player.
Well, no, they don't. No.
The head coach said they 3-down.
2.5.
The head coach said it several times.
I just need him in the fourth quarter.
Protect the gap. Demand a double team. I don't care how much you weigh. Hold it down. Don't let them run through your gap. Make tackles.
Be Gilbert Brown.
Make the sacks and tackles in the backfield.
Be Gilbert Brown like he was in Green Bay.
Sarah
I
Goose.
agree with
He's
Thor.
Sarah Goose.
Sarah Goose.
Like,
Goose.
Fatigue.
Long live the Goose.
Fatigue make cowards out of all men.
But can he demand his own team? Can he?
He can't be fatigued out there.
If he fatigued, he ain't worth a quarter. What was that? Remember when Tart, how dominant he be when he had his breath, and then when he get tired, he start running in place.
He on the sideline.
Can't get off a block.
He on the sideline. All right. Tor and BlueEnforcer. Which y'all take on Gray? The pick of Gray at linebacker.
I like it. Don't know too much about him. Coming from North Carolina, looks like he's a guy that can definitely cover side to side. Maybe he may end up being the guy with the green dot. I think that's what they probably would prefer, with him making the green dot, and then that kind of frees up Kenneth Murray to just do what he does best. So I think they should have filled more for best player available instead of need, but I think they really filled a good need with that one, with Cedric Gray, because I saw it was him. Also, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was on the board at the time, and I believe another guy that I believe Teron Davenport talked about, Jordan McGee from Temple, was also on the board. So I think he talked about those three guys extensively. So I think it was a very solid pick. I would give that one an A as well.
Yeah, if he can get the green dot, that's really good, because then he can be on the field 3 downs and calling the defense. So that helps out a lot. Tor,
I agree with a lot of what you said, BlueEnforcer, about Gray. It was a need, a need pick, and they got high expectations for him. So maybe the pick won't match up with where we got him. Maybe we got more upside on it. Maybe we won from where we got him, and that would be a plus for us. Everybody's saying the same thing about that green dot. Who's going to be that guy? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a leader. And when you got guys in front of them like what we have with Big Jeff and Sweat now, hopefully he can perform to our expectations. That was what we were going for. Now, I'm not sold on North Carolina linebackers, but they got to prove me wrong.
Hey, we had what's the name? Back in the day, we had Zach Brown. He played good for us.
A lot of people talked about his tackling or his speed or whatever, and he was pretty good. So, I mean, I can see it.
Does Gray remind you of David Long Jr.?
No,
he's a little bigger. He's a little taller.
I gotta see him play first.
He's a little taller than Long Jr. But
you want to see Gray play first? But
no,
you ain't on late.
I wouldn't. we throw shots. I wouldn't. I'm
up on Gray more than Latham. Yeah, I would say that. I try not to go off of the name of the school and black. Teron Davenport has been trying to teach me not to blacklist the school because of the past. Although, like I said, I don't really trust Alabama offensive linemen, just like I don't trust Georgia offensive linemen. I can have a little bit more faith in North Carolina linebackers than I would Alabama.
We don't trust Clemson defensive ends either. We don't.
Don't get me started on Clemson defensive ends.
Right.
Hey, we got a couple of comments
Kevin
from Dion.
Go ahead, Corey.
Dion checking in with us tonight again. What's up, fellas? He says Sweat ain't gonna lose that weight with access to all that Nashville barbecue and down home cooking. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Dion also says Gray was a quiet steal for us, cover skills, solid tackler, and leadership. That's good to hear. Also, like got Terrence Johnson checking in. T says Gray had over 100 tackles back-to-back seasons.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
I like it.
I like all three of these picks are gonna contribute early. That's what we need. Where we were last year, we needed these first 3 picks to contribute. We're building a team. I think Rand said it in a press conference. He said we're gonna eventually get to where we're drafting for future players a year ahead. We're drafting a year ahead instead of drafting for the year coming up right now.
Right.
So we're trying to get to that, and it's going to take this staff a little while longer. Let's move to the next one. Our last 4 picks. These guys, to me, some of them got chances, some of them don't have chances. They're gonna have to find their way. If they're starting, for me, we're in trouble if one of them starting. That's just my opinion. If one of these guys is start, but Corey, let's start with you in the middle. What's your take off, or which one of these 4 you kind of like, or you kind of know about right here?
Yeah. The cornerback they drafted, Jarvis Brownlee. Corner, played at Louisville, 5'10", 194 pounds. Man, one thing I like about him is he's from Miami, so he's a Miami boy. You know, he went to Florida State, ended up at Louisville. But one thing they said he always stood out. Aside from his defense playing corner, they said he always stood out on special teams at every school he went to. Gotcha. So that's rare for somebody. For even in the transfer, and all the coaches say he was held on special teams. That automatically lets you know where you're gonna be, where you're gonna find value quickly with the Titans. 28 pass breakups in his college career. So he's got a knack for the ball. He's finding that about 28 is a lot of pass breakups. They say he's very aggressive, ultra aggressive, ultra competitive. So I think this type of pick is a reflection of the defensive coordinator and the type of defense that we're trying to become. I can see him playing some inside, backing up. Said he can play outside, but he's probably better inside. But he's backing up
Roger McCreary.
Yeah, I can see him doing something like that. Yep. So I think it's a good pick at that spot.
Okay. Ricky, what you got?
I agree with Corey on Brownlee. I'll tell you one that kind of surprised me, and I know he's probably a special teams guy if he makes the roster, but that James Williams dude that from Miami, safety, big, looking at him, he's not that guy, but Kyle Hamilton, who our DC coach with the Ravens, Kyle Hamilton, same size, 6'4", about 220. And that's the same size as this dude, even though they say that he'll probably play linebacker. I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued with that move just to see what they can do with him. Like I said, he's probably more of a special team guy if he make the roster. But yeah, and then who is it? Jalen Harrell. I wonder what makes a guy like that fall so far in the draft to the 7th round when he led the national champion team in sacks and had some decent numbers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's measurables or what it is, but I'm kind of intrigued with those late guys like that, just to kind of see how hungry they are first of all, and just see what kind of opportunities they get.
I'll tell you one thing I forgot. You talked about Williams. I saw Keith Bullock put it up there. I forgot Keith Bullock played safety in college.
Ooh.
And moved to linebacker.
Yeah, he
sure he talked about he was on special teams the first 2 years. He said he should have started the second year, but he is on and he started his 3rd year. And him and he's from what Bullock said, he's about 10 pounds lighter than what Bullock was when he was drafted. So that's kind of he's an intriguing guy. I like Brownlee. Brownlee's aggressive. Those are the type of corners that we're going after. And with the new kickoff rule, I'm intrigued by Jackson. He can do some things in the open field, little short guy, but he's built compact, I'm intrigued by Jackson and seeing what he can do. Most of these guys are going to be special teams, and that's gonna be huge if he becomes like we talked about it the last show. Corey is our punt returner or kick returner on the team. This guy could be the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He could.
And he's also the nephew of the legendary Hall of Famer Ed Reed from the U.
What?
Ed Reed's nephew. And him and Tajay were roommates. Tajay was there when he got drafted. So that's gonna be an intriguing guy to see in camp, to see how a little guy that we
it's all about getting guys in that fit the mold of being a brotherhood and playing for one another and having those relationships. What the front office is doing now. They're gonna be one. It's gonna be one step. We're gonna all be in the same step together.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'll add this. The Brownlee pick I definitely like because I've heard a lot of good things about him, especially coming out of the Senior Bowl. And I like and one thing with all of these defensive picks, you ain't got to worry about no shortness of physicality with any of these guys.
Right. Yeah,
like
that's what the DC wanted. He wanted.
That's what he wants. He wants attack, and I like that. Brownlee, I really do like the pick. Williams, don't know much about him. I don't know if it looks like they may try to move him into linebacker, like you said, similar to Keith Bullock. So I mean that would be something to see. Hero, I think, could be a good depth piece, like with a Caleb Murphy, because you could never have too many pass rushers, and we're gonna need plenty. But the one that does intrigue me is Jackson. Right. And my question that I'm trying to hope to have answered in a few years is, can he do more than just be a return guy? Being a return guy is needed and is good. I think, again, another need that we've needed, but can he do a little bit more than that? Can he line up and catch some passes at receiver and be effective in that way as well in, adding to that? And if he can, which some of the highlights I've seen looks like he can and can be a deep threat, I am really intrigued by him. Very much so.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Very intrigued by those two.
Let me ask you this, Tank. And that's good. But you had sent a name. You said I like I can't remember the guy's name. It was a receiver that you said we were getting in the later round. It was before we picked Jackson when that receiver was
Washington. You talking about Washington from Virginia?
Yeah.
They built the exact same. Washington may be, I think Jackson's like an inch taller than him, and Washington may be like 3 or 4 pounds heavier. They built the same. Jackson's a little bit faster than him. And I'll take, I sent y'all in the group that about a month ago I did a mock draft, one of my 100 mock drafts I did in my spare time. And I did have Latham, Sweat, and Jackson in that mock draft.
Yeah.
So I got three other picks.
You had Jackson in it? I didn't know you had Jackson in it.
And I had Jackson in that pick in there. So,
kudos.
That's tight.
I like Jackson. Brownlee, that aggressiveness, and man, our depth at corner. Last year we had Troy Avery, Guerra. Would you rather see Brownlee, who's aggressive? He may get beat. They say he may get beat deep because he's so aggressive, but man, there was some highlights that he's jamming folks in the ground like Snead.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's that whole Snead brand of jamming these receivers and playing that press coverage. I think that's what we want to do. I think the guys we go, oh God, me either. Because I've been so frustrated watching us sit back 7 yards.
I can't wait to see that, but I can't
exactly.
wait. I can't wait till camp to see Big Jeff and Sweat them going against Latham, Skronsky, and Lloyd in the middle. Oh Lord, it's gonna be some fights. It's gonna be some fights in training camp.
We got to calm them down. We don't want to get hurt.
I'm with y'all. I am so sick and tired of watching our corners play 7 to 10 yards off the ball every single time.
Right.
All I keep saying is play about 3 to 5 yards. At most 5 to 7. At most 5 to 7 on big, like on 3rd and long, you play about 5 to 7. But they should really be either right up on them or play about 3 to 5 yards off. You shouldn't be that far off from a receiver and giving them that free release. If you're off 7 to 10 yards, any receiver could do a slant, you could do a quick curl comeback, and
didn't bother him at all.
You're giving yards.
We played 7
with 3rd and 2.
That curl route again. Let me see that curl route again, Blue-Enforcer. Let me see. Yeah,
there you go. Where your hands at, Blue? Blue, you had your hands out like this. You put that diamond up, Blue.
I play ball and I see some guy running around here like they'll go over, be like, pooh. They stop on the guy, be like, pooh, turn. When I say it, I'll be like,
oh gosh.
Some of them so hard, be like,
hey, what I will say, what I love also is they talked about getting bigger and faster.
Right.
And I believe they accomplished that with the free agent signings, and we definitely got bigger. They say they talk. One thing about this coaching staff is they actually tell us stuff now.
Right.
When they talk, they really are telling the truth.
They're not speaking in riddles.
And we got to play better. We got to block better. That kind of ran its course, man.
That always pissed me off.
Before we go to these draft grades, I will say this one thing about this draft that I see. Triple B, they got faith in you. Big Body Burks, they got faith in you.
They definitely do.
They got faith in you. They are you. But I'll say what I'm gonna say later. I got another little thing. Let's go to we're gonna grade the draft, grade the overall, all these picks. And first person I got on here, Slick Partner. That's what you told me you got.
Yeah, man, I did. I gave him an A. First of all, I think considering that those first 3 picks will start, at least the first 2, and with Gray, I feel that he's going to start as well. And then Brownlee, I think he's going to contribute a lot in a backup role. Once again, I just think when you, in my opinion, hit on a few of those guys and they can come through, the first 2 can be elite with Sweat and Latham, depending on how it pans out. So that's the reason why I give him an A. Like Corey, I think Corey said it earlier about, somebody did, about drafting for need. It kind of looks like that, but at the same time, I think we got value at those picks, even though we did need them, if that makes sense. So that's why I give him an A. Yeah.
Corey, here's Gray. Go ahead.
I really like what they did in the draft. I'm not gonna give them an A. I'm gonna give them a B, not a B minus, not a B plus, just a B. And if I'm nitpicking on the draft, all I'm saying is there still is a question on if Latham can make that transition from right to left, because there's still a question. There's not a definite plug-in. And when I say that, I always come back and think, well, it's not a guarantee for anybody. And I agree with that as well. But I'm kind of nitpicking. I don't want to, I've been guilty of looking through Titan colored lenses all the time. So I'll give them a solid B. I think they did a great job. I think they're bringing in the kind of talent and the caliber person that can only enhance the team, man.
Can I say something real quick?
No.
Yeah.
What the hell you gonna say? What the hell you got to say?
We keep talking about them, and even they done said that Latham's moving to left. what if they get in camp and he's not comfortable at left? We still need a right tackle. It's not like we do.
That's what I was
going to say. They mentioned that.
We was terrible. We was terrible at right tackle too.
We ain't solid at right.
That's true. That's true.
And I think that was the thing that kind of got. That's the thing that kind of got me a little bit with the question. Is that Rand said, "Oh yeah, we're going to start him off at left," and then Cali comes back and says, "Well, if he's not comfortable at left, we can move him back to right." I mean, we still need a right tackle. So, I mean, that's true. But I didn't like that little back and forth. That I'm like, if you're confident he can play left, stick with that. Don't leave any room for uncertainty. And that's the only thing I was worried about.
Yeah. Okay, here's my grade. I'm giving it a B+. Like we said, right tackle sucked too last year. It wasn't just the left side. The right side sucked too. I knocked it off a little grade just because of Sweat's weight. We need to get that down. I like the Gray pick. He was a guy that I was looking at. I like the North Carolina State linebacker Peyton. But he had more injuries than Gray, so that gave Gray a little bit more bump there. But it was a solid draft for need and potential backup fillers to play special teams at the back end of the draft. I like the draft. I really like where we're going. It wasn't me going into the draft and saying, man, why come we didn't get this? In past years, we weren't taking receivers when we needed receivers. We addressed the receiver need in free agency this year. So I wanted a receiver to add youth to the receiver room, but I'm okay that we took a need position in the first round. I'm okay with that. So B+. Tap 40.
Well, I was only critical of a B- because when we didn't get Alt and we didn't get what's the receiver I'm talking about? What's the receiver I'm talking about? Neighbors. Okay, when we didn't get them, I was thinking they should have traded back to try to gain some draft capital, But with the picks they made, hindsight. The first 3 picks we got, I like them. I think they fit our needs that we need. They fill some holes for us. That's why I'm giving them a B- just because they didn't go get draft capital for being in the position that we were in, because we don't want to be in that position in the future. And I think they could have filled some more needs with our team with some more draft picks. That's why I'm giving them a B-.
Man, I bet the deal sucked though, man. Like, sure, there were people that wanted that 7th pick, a lot of them, but what were they going to give up? No GM wants to lose.
But there really wasn't that much movement in that.
It wasn't. But the board for the Titans, we have the board that we liked.
Right.
But Rand said there was guys that he was not gonna move back for.
Right.
Because he didn't want to lose those guys.
Right.
Because we could have moved back. Because getting a lot of draft capital don't mean that you're gonna be good, because you could have moved back and got the 4th best tackle. So that's not always a good thing to move back, unless some of the guys that move back, their team is really crappy, or like they're search, like Buffalo moved back. They kept moving back because they lost every damn body in free agency. They couldn't pay nobody, so they needed draft capital right there.
Mm-hmm. Quick interjection off the not the subject we're talking on, but the Cardinals and Monty also, for whatever the guy's name is. Didn't he have like an extreme amount of draft capital? Did they have like a whole lot of picks?
They had a lot.
Did they? Because I hadn't looked at what they did. Besides, of course,
I think it was pretty solid.
They had a solid.
Very much so.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to ask that question.
You know, if you can get it, it's good. But sometimes there's guys that you want at a certain position. You feel like if I go back too far, I'm not gonna get what I really want. I'm gonna end up with something that I don't really want. I'm just kind of forcing. BlueEnforcer, you send me your grade, and there you go. We ended with 2 designers.
Oh, we already know.
Damn, Blue.
I said I had to be a little bit of a devil's advocate on this one, but I think Tav Ward stole my thunder a little bit. I'm going B- as well. I think after maybe a year or two, this grade could very well change to maybe a B+, depending on how Latham comes out. If Latham can make that transition, we go in Bill Callahan, we trust. We know he is O-line Jesus. So let the O-line God do his thing. I'm gonna let him do his thing. And if Latham can become a left tackle, a good one, because I had somebody on my show basically kiss the ground this guy walks on. And so I said, okay, put your money where your mouth is if you think he's so great, and I disagree. And so I told him, I said, okay, if Latham becomes an all-pro or Pro Bowler year one, I'll buy the jersey.
Yeah.
I'll buy his jersey.
Yeah.
I will wear it on my show. I will bring him on, and I will basically be like, you know what? I bow to you.
I saw
You're
you,
the man.
I saw you say about all pro year one. You know how many people have made all pro year one since 2012 that were rookies?
Very few.
Do you know the other left tackle?
Seven. Yeah, they don't really let them do it.
That is
Big Jeff didn't even make a Pro Bowl.
Last rookie season. The last rookie we had to make all pro was a Conklin. It's rookie season.
And so I feel pretty good about that one. I said if he does it, I need a $50 super chat. So I feel pretty good.
Yeah, you got great odds.
But I hope he does do well. I'm definitely gonna cheer for him to do well. I'm not the type that's gonna root for him to fail just because I didn't like the pick. I liked Olu better. It's sad to be that Alt goes to a team that doesn't even want him to play his natural position. So that sucked.
Latham is like a preacher. Have you heard him talk? He's a preacher. He's coming in there. He's gonna put them big size 20 hands. The huge hands. The goat said it. The goat said it. He said if he gets Nick Saban said it. If he gets his hands on you, you're done. You're done. When Saban says it, you better believe it.
Hey, give it to God.
Yes, right. With a grill. He grilled God.
But I like the other picks like Sweat and Gray really helped pull the grade up a little bit more. And then the other guys, like I said, Brownlee, I definitely like. He's definitely going to be the fourth corner. And if something goes down with one of the other guys, I think he can step up a little bit more. And with Williams and Harrell, I think are added bonuses if they give you anything, especially on special teams. So I think this is a B- right now, but I do think at some point it can definitely improve and get to maybe a B+. Get to a B+ by the end of the year. I'm just gonna wait and see.
Can it get to an A- by the end of the year? A-.
89, yeah. 89.4. Because if you go 5, you gotta round up.
You gotta 89.4. All right, let's move to this. Draft over, but there's still potential free agent targets to get out there to fill another hole. Which one hole that I would like for us to target is safety. Y'all got some guys, or y'all, I hope they get with Simmons. Is Simmons Justin Simmons?
Yeah, I would say either Simmons or Marcus May. I think are two
Marcus May. Yeah, May is the other one. Yeah. I hope they get one of those guys to round out the secondary. Y'all know Molden is slow-mo back there, so I would like for him to be a backup. Any other targets that y'all can see out there?
How Quandre Diggs can he play that role too at safety? Is he
I
in
think
that
Diggs is a
mode?
safety as well.
He's a safety. I just wonder if
he may be more hookerish.
Okay. That's
He
what
may
I
be
was
more
wondering.
hookerish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If
I would
another one I can throw out there, we talked about tackle, and we're not really sure. Like after Latham, there's NPF, who I don't think had a good rookie year because he looked okay because the left side Daly was so bad it made NPF look good, but he wasn't really that good to me. And then last year in preseason, he was getting blown up by third stringers, and then when he did play, he didn't look good. So there, tackle could be another spot that we could bring in a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was hoping.
I hope we develop. Go ahead, BlueEnforcer, because I think we're gonna say the same
I'm sorry.
thing.
I'm sorry.
No.
I was and that's why I think during the draft I was really hoping that a guy like a Christian Jones, offensive tackle out of Texas, could have been one of our picks, because I think he would have been able to compete and slide into right tackle right away. That was his solid position. I would have hoped we had gotten him. He would have been, I think he would have been a guy that, like, clearly, I think would have been right there. Maybe maybe Dylan Radins gets another shot, even though I know a lot of people are ready to give up on him. I'm not one of them.
They're saying he's playing guard. That's what.
But I think they're going to move him to guard. I mean, I don't know where Bronsko's going to end up, so that's going to be a good question. But I do think of that. And Andres Pete, maybe if Latham is not comfortable on the left side, you put him back at right, you bring Pete in at left, put him at left tackle, and
we've already brought him in and talked to him.
Could be a good thing.
It could be. Yeah, that's the thing. They got to look at like NPF and dang, what's my boy last year that was the rookie?
Joseph.
I don't know if you're gonna get a look at
Duncan
stinks.
Yeah, so they're gonna look at those guys, but if they go in and be like, no, Pete is still out there, and we could still be in contact with Pete and being like, hey, be ready by June 20th. We're gonna be calling you. Just stay ready,
man.
So what
think
about,
let me add in on some on that old line. Somebody's gonna emerge. Somebody that we already have, whether it be a Dylan or one of these other guys, gonna emerge just because of the coaching, the O-line Jesus. He's gonna get something that we've already got and show his prowess as a coach by turning his technique or his knowledge or his belief. So he's gonna pour into one of these guys that we've already got and we've already seen play not up to par, and gonna change the way they play. That's my bold prediction.
We got the guy from the Commanders. I forget his name. He's played some tackle. He's played tackle, but they're saying he's gonna play guard. But no, not Watson. Not Watson.
I know what you're talking. One of the first guys.
Sadiq Charles.
Sadiq.
Yeah. He's played some tackle, so that that could be a guy that you can. He could be interchangeable playing guard and tackle, or you just slide him out there. If you got enough guards, slide him out there. With another position that was in question, we addressed it in the draft, but would you want to bring in another veteran to be in the linebacker room?
When you asked that question last time, and I went through and I marked what's his name, Shaq Leonard. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Neither would I.
I mean, he would come in for league minimum, probably, right? Veteran minimum or something. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him in, kind of see what he has left.
I question it because of the back injury and the surgery.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
I don't want to see.
He hasn't played. He hasn't played since it. Really.
Yes, he has. He played for the Eagles last year.
What did he do?
He didn't do too much.
He didn't do, but the Eagles
I don't want
defense
Zach Cunningham either.
but he produced just as much or more coming in halfway through the season than some guys that were there the whole season, as far as tackles. So
yeah, I'm scared because of our history of having injured players coming into our organization after having surgery. And you playing linebacker, and that back, you got to be physical. That back is something else. It's tender.
And you got guys that, if you're gonna do that, they got guys on the roster that they believe in more than an outside older guy. They love Dr. Gibbons.
no, Vrabel loved Dr. Gibby. You don't know.
You right.
You don't
love Tim Gibby.
Hey,
you right.
If they really love Gibby,
right.
Vrabel would have been drafted in the 4th round.
Man, my bad. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's who loved Dr. J.
That's who loved Dr. J.
Yeah. I got a question for y'all. Do you think Caleb Farley gets one last shot? He's in camp.
Corey answered.
He look like he's gonna try again.
Just Blue Enforcer, just direct that question to Corey in the middle. Just direct that. Just say Corey and then ask your question.
All right, Corey, talk to me.
I'll tell you something, man. You heard it here first, Jack. Caleb Farley is going to be the biggest redemption story that we've seen. He still has plays to make. He hadn't made any since being here. His body has failed him. He's still around. Why is he still around? He had this horrific story happen to him with his family, with his house, and losing his dad in the house. Why is he still around? He's around to have a redemption story, man, to come back from this terrible adversity. I just think he got so much untapped talent that we hadn't even seen him play at all. We hadn't even seen him do. We just seen him get burnt. We seen him be a step late everywhere. Seen him look confused. Seen him look like he didn't belong in the whole league. This is a 1st round draft pick that hadn't made a couple of plays. He's been reduced to special teams. He's been discounted. If anybody has any motivation to do anything, this is his last chance. And I don't know. We'll see. But I'll
say Burks too, same way.
Oh,
prove yourself.
Yes, agree. And
yeah, that's true.
Burks might have 2 more years, but
this is
their chance to prove themselves to a new staff.
Burks got 1 for me. This is it. And Tori, what is it? Your availability.
Yeah.
Oh, your best ability is your availability. Hey, hats off to Farley. I appreciate what you was trying to do for us. Your heart is in the right place, but your body just won't let you do it. You made it this far. You did the best you could. You can't take it away from you. You reached the top of being able to play professional football with your ailments.
Yeah.
This is what I say with Farley. With this defense, and I've been saying it probably about 2 years now. I really think he should change the safety. I really do. I think
I'm about to jump on
that. May benefit.
I've been saying
it for 2 years.
They've been saying it for years. He's been saying it for years. I was reluctant. I pushed back on that because I thought he was just going to be a special long corner, but now I think Tay was on to something the whole damn time.
Can I go back to Shaq Leonard? that his production last year.
Yeah.
He played in 12 games last year.
What did he produce?
He had 88 tackles in 12 games.
Well, he produced.
Pretty nice.
He produced. More than I thought he did. He did more than I thought he did.
So
I didn't think he played in 12 games.
So they had Shaq Leonard and Zach Cunningham.
Yeah, he produced more than Zach, and Zach started the season with him.
Yeah.
Hey, bring
so
on
Shaq missed some games with Indy and then they kind of shelved him for a little bit after he played like 2. I think he played 4 games with them, and they shelved him.
Wanted to trade him out. They wanted to get hurt while they had him, so they could trade him out.
Well,
I'll take Shaq.
Just bring back Wesley, would you, too, while you at it?
Well, dang. Well, dang.
I would love to bring him in as a linebackers coach.
Yeah, he is.
Anything before, that was our last topic. Anything else y'all got to say about the draft, about the Titans? Get off.
T, I had a comment I want before we get it. I had a comment from T. No, not T. From Joe Peoples. Joe Peoples.
No, don't
read that.
Don't read that.
Joe Peoples asked.
He's trolling.
He asked about how we feel about Mason Rudolph signing. I don't think we've discussed Mason Rudolph signing on our.
It's better than Malik, right? That's all I can say.
I'll reply back to it. Oh, go ahead. Give him a Phonies reply because I agree with you, Rick. You like the signing?
I was just gonna say, I like the signing, and I think it can even actually push Levis a little bit because Mason been around long enough and is vet enough to where he's going to pick up the system, where he's going to do the right things in camp and even in preseason to the point to where it's going to be like, So I think it's good for Levis as well to kind of push him. Not that he don't act like he need any more motivation, but at the end of the day, competition brings out the best in everybody. So
that's a good point. Hey, I got one more comment. Chevette Pillow Nivette. Chevette says, I guess she's talking about Caleb Farley here. His story is good for a Lifetime movie, but it's time to move on.
It sounds just like a Lifetime movie. Hey, but it has to. It has to have. For it to be a Lifetime movie, it has to have a good ending.
The story has been tragic.
Oh my God. Okay, Chevette also says she commented on the Shaq Leonard. She said Shaq Leonard did nothing for us in Philly. If she's a Philly fan, I'm sure she's looking at the game.
That's why y'all drafted a whole defense.
Right. Yeah. Philly's defense was dysfunctional at the end of the year. I don't know what happened to that.
We got one more suggestion.
It was changing the defensive coordinators mid-season. I threw them off.
But I'll take Shaq Leonard.
One more suggestion from T. Johnson. What do y'all think about bringing Bud Dupree back? He's a free agent.
Ship sailed.
Keep him out of Walgreens.
Hey.
Oh, damn.
I like dude, man. We just paid him too much off that injury.
Yeah, we did.
What did he do in Atlanta last year?
I don't know.
It stayed healthy a little bit.
It's something that it's some moving parts we need on defense. We need some guys to step into the Danico Autry role, like Weaver and some other guys. The Sebastian guy, he needs to step into the Danico Autry role.
I forgot about him.
And Bud may be okay as a rotational guy. That hey, anything's possible.
I'm sorry. One quick question.
We need fresh legs on our defense. Denard's gonna come in and we're gonna do some things. We're gonna look different than we were in the past. We're getting away from Vrabel's era. We're gonna be a totally different team on offense and defense. It's not gonna be your same Titans. We're definitely gonna be different.
I can't wait to see it.
And that's what we're working towards on drafting guys from the secondary to come in and blitz. The D tackles to take away the run, which we're known for that. We're gonna have linebackers flying around. So I'm excited for it. It's gonna be good.
Big Sweat that we drafted referenced another D lineman that I guess from Texas that's here.
He's on. I forget his name. T. Johnson. If you in the comments, put his name in the comment. T. Johnson sent it to me. I forgot his name.
He's in the comments. T is in there.
Was he a pickup from somewhere?
No, I think we had it. We got him last year or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that confused me. I didn't know who he was talking about. That's all I got.
Yeah.
BlueEnforcer. on Instagram, but Kai Bector signed a 1-year, $5 million deal. Eagles.
I didn't know how much it was. Wow.
5.5 million.
Eagles just stacking, man. They stacking. They it's boomer, but man. Super Bowl or bust for them dudes.
Okay, the D lineman is Coburn from Texas. That he was talking about.
Was he getting rotation in on the D line last season?
I don't know. I was
they was bad, man. We played.
I don't remember mentioning that name.
Seems like I seen it.
So all right, fellas, let's go on and wrap this up. And BlueEnforcer, give everybody, with your show date, your Instagram, where they can find that.
Well, I definitely appreciate everybody, for having me on. We definitely going to have to do this again because, good conversation indeed. Everybody, y'all can find me on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. Also on Twitter, you can find me at TNT BlueEnforcer. That's TNT BLUEN4CER. On Facebook, look for the TNT Enforcers fan page. Definitely look for that. And of course, Titans and Truth, the Titans and Truth podcast channel. Definitely look me up there on YouTube. And I'll also make sure stuff gets out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts as well. So definitely come check me out. I'm on every Wednesday. Wednesday either at 5 or at 6, usually at 5. And so I will be definitely doing a post-draft show then, talking about the picks and everything and what's coming up. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I appreciate y'all having me on.
Appreciate you joining us.
100.
And you can catch us on all social media platforms for Phonies. And we're going to be for Phonies out.
Yes. Tighten up.